Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2 with the reigning world champion, the Terran in the blue from Team Liquid. It's Clem, facing off against arguably the best Protoss player in the world in the red. We have Hero in a best of 5 Terran versus Protoss Grand Finals, where once again Clem's top-tier Terran will try to pin down Hero's drunken brawler Protoss. In a match so exciting, so dramatic, you'll be wondering why you haven't already smashed that like button. Or maybe even subscribe. Help me counter the algorithm. And Jimmy, what are we at? Jimmy. 1,613 likes on this video, on this cast. And I'll cast another one. And I'll probably do it anyways, because I don't know what else I'd do with my life. But thank you for watching. Hopefully, you've had a good day so far, and hopefully it's about to get just a little bit better. The first Reaper comes across to try to slip in the Reaper employee entrance, and will be shut down already, as Hero has set up a supply block there, if you would, in order to deal with it. Meanwhile, the Stalker, the fact that it is a Stalker is part of the important scouting here, not just because it makes you uncomfortable, but at least it's not shading across the map. It slightly increases the likelihood it's going to be Blink Stalkers in general, but this is Hero, so it could be almost literally anything. And in this case, it's a Stargate on the way. Despite the 2 Stalkers early and the lack of Adepts, I think Hero's sending a message. Well, whatever message he's trying to send the wrong one. At least to Clem, and make sure he's as in the dark as possible. Meanwhile, Clem, here on Talisman, is mining through the mineral wall already. He's going to be going to the trickle-down base with the half-and-half gold minerals and blue minerals. A little bit of an extra boost at the same relative safety early on, though. There is some logistical shenanigans that have to happen early. Quickly become one of the more dramatic maps from our community map pool. As the Stalker escorting the Reaper out. Won't get any information whatsoever. The Phoenixes are already in production, and Clem is doing an anti-Blink Stalker build. He's got a medevac, cyclones, enough Marines to jam inside. Ideally, you hit before Blink is done, which is around 4:40 to 5 minutes, depending on how much Chrono Boost you're drizzling on that Twilight Council. But there's no Twilight Council to drizzle upon here. In fact, the only thing that might be raining is men from the sky, if the Phoenixes are able to pick them up. And Clem doesn't know it yet, but he's flying directly towards disaster. Assuming he's not able to scout the Phoenixes before Hero spots this drop. And he will indeed. One of the Stalkers directly in the face of the Cyclone. We'll lose it immediately. There's 3 Stalkers and a Zealot, and 2 more. Wow. Okay, that is more than enough. Clem driven back for now. The medevac going to be thrown directly into the unit's loss tab. The Marines will be cut down with ease. And Hero with a decisive victory to open things up. He lost a Stalker, and that's it. That's the end of it. There's no other answer to the Phoenixes here, at least not easily. Hero will have very active scouting. He might be able to pick off a few SCVs, probably not Marines, but you never know. In fact, Clem is so stressed he's building a Viking out of a Tech Lab starport, which is technically something you can do, but it just feels wrong, alright? But Twilight Council and Forge, it's Star Charge. I mean, I guess it could be Blink, but Hero looking towards charge lots. This kind of stiff arm sort of build with the Phoenixes to maintain air control and force things like Vikings and Cyclones, and then charge lots to just sweep the rest away. 5 Phoenixes on the field now. Not enough to overwhelm the Marine and Cyclone count, but enough to keep Clem bottled up in his base, unable to figure out what's going on the other side. So he's kind of locked in. There's not much else to be done as Terran. You're already going down the road to Stim Combat Shield +1. Combat Shield isn't there yet. I think he'll start it momentarily. But Clem is stuck in his base for quite a while. As the Phoenixes come in, pick up a couple SCVs, knock them down. The Cyclones and the Viking combine to knock out a couple Phoenixes. Gets the Viking, which is certainly something. Not a great trade, but a trade nonetheless. And you know, the best defense is a good offense. And the best offense is one that also does emotional damage, like sticking your Phoenixes right in their mineral line. which is considered to be inappropriate in many cultures. As long as Hero is continually dragging, especially the starport and factory units around, he knows exactly where Clem is, what he can have, and what he needs to do to deal with it. And right now, this is a brute force composition. 6 more gates on the way. 1-1, including armor for Hero. So he's going to have some well-upgraded charge lots against just the single upgrade out of Clem. But, of course, the main weakness of the advanced alien warriors is they are melee attackers. All right, they got to get up in your grill and start slashing away at it, which they can do very quickly and relatively concisely, but compared to the bio ball of Stim Marines and Marauders, it really does take a good position and an overwhelming amount in order to get the damage. Hallucinates a Colossus, which could easily just drive Clem back if he doesn't spot it. Picks up one of the Marines. Okay, well, yeah, it was a good attempt. I like the idea with the hallucinated Colossus. There's a chance he doesn't scan, and then he might just leave of his own accord. But right now, Clem with a strong army, though, does need to get some damage done. Hero's already taken a 4th base to the south. All he needs to do is hold here. He's got 2-2 upgrades on the way. Just a single upgrade advantage against Clem. The force field comes through. For now, not looking... That corner is actually really difficult to engage into. Clem literally using the corner against him. He's got all the cute angles. And even some of the obtuse ones. But meanwhile, the Widow Mine's connecting on top of the charge lot, soften him up. Siege tank is taken down, but that Colossus was not real, which means that there's no real need for siege tanks on the backline. In fact, they might be something of a liability, just like the Widow Mines if they're not targeted correctly. But for now, they're doing just fine. Knocks yet another Phoenix out of the sky. Guardian Shield dissipated. Concussive shells about to complete force fields. But who's locked in here with whom? Clem? Let me... Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal, sentries. The Zealot trying to get some damage done. There is no blink, at least not yet. The Widow Mines will connect and be taken out. Another sentry is taken down, but Hero's supply is precariously low. The 2-2 upgrades are closing in. That's what he needs to deal with this. He's got 69 probes. He's got 4 bases. He's got a nice position economically, but he just can't compete with Clem's army on the field. The upgrades can help an ridiculous amount with that. I cannot stress how much, especially that armor upgrade in this scenario, will help against the Marines and Marauders. Medevacs are nearly out of energy. A 5th base on the way from Hero. Just keeping his options open. Clem, on the other hand, is getting an armory. He has 61 SCVs. He's actually expanded outwards to another one of the trickle-down bases. And it's almost on screen right now. That's how close it is. His rally point goes through his base, making it extra safe in this scenario. But the Widow Mines connect. Heroes manage to replenish some of that supply. He keeps warping in. Half a dozen charge lots at a time. Another Guardian Shield. More Widow Mines trading out. Medevac's so low on energy. Has to kite all the way back. 2-2 is done on the charge lots, and you can feel the momentum shift. The Guardian Shield, the blink forward. More damage being done. Clem losing a critical mass of his units right now. The Stalkers may be all that's left behind. He blunks forward. Dives on top of the army before the reinforcements can arrive. Tries to isolate it. Hero cutting through the front line and starting to work on the SCVs. Reinforcements streaming to the front. The charge lots have to be warped in back at home for now. And he's tried to stream through the minerals. Vikings hit the deck, realizing they have nothing to actually contest. He was assuming there'd be Colossi at this point. But Clem, for once, assumed wrong. Hero is gateway man right now. And he has a plan. And it's gateways, man. So... Hero's sitting on 9 gateways. He's building it more. 3-3 is on the way. Clem's working on 2-1. Only 50 SCVs remain. Hero, the main base might be modding out, but that's not a big deal for him. Plenty of locations to expand to. Widow Mines hit Zealots and Medevacs alike. +1 armor finally completed for Clem. The charge lot streaming through yet again. That's Sentry. Guardian Shield. Very helpful, but the Zealots unable to squeeze themselves through that tiny choke point. They have to go into a concave of Terran fire. The Blink Stalker's still finding damage. Clem, he could turn it around with a Decisive. He kills his own missile turret in order to maneuver better. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but it certainly is. +2 infantry weapons will finish before the 3/3 upgrades from Hero, but not by much. Those medevacs in autumn colors and nearly drained of energy. The stims themselves, let alone everything else. A Liberator siege is up. Huge warping over to the right side. Hero gonna try to pull Clem apart here. As fighting the Bio Army as a single ball of Terran is looking difficult. But the Zealots just end up going with the main army. Comes in with a flank. The Zealots will be cut down quickly. Widowmine splashes across the front line, but more Zealots in the main. The reinforcements are thin right now. Almost everything coming out of the barracks will be cut down immediately. The main army tries to engage, jumps some of Hero's units. The force fields will strongly discourage pursuit. Saves one of the ghosts. Throws out an EMP to help stop the charge lots for now. The reinforcements have to come back, which means Hero's gonna go forward. The Immortals have joined the fray. Widowmines connect, takes out 2 of the sentries. But Clem, with charge lots in the main, and the army at his third, will be pincered between Heroes, what I assume are lobster-like claws, and take game 1. Wow. Hero keeping the pressure on, bamboozling Clem from the very start. With that early Phoenix play, it was a gamble from Clem to go for the Cyclone drop blindly. Now, if Hero goes for Blink, it probably does well. Like, you gotta cut some corners, or at least that's the common wisdom in Terran versus Protoss. But if you cut too many corners, you lose your edge. And Clem there, cut down out of the sky, and Hero kept the momentum from there on out. Except he didn't, though, did he? All right? Fact check me. He didn't. Clem came across the map, kept the pressure on for several minutes, but Hero bent. He did not break. Eventually, he got the upgrades. I don't know if going for the 2/2 upgrades and investing that much was a good or bad thing, because very well he could have lost the game. Like, a couple Widowmines going the very wrong way. Just a bad engagement angle. Clem was that close to the critical mass of Terran that just kind of strangles you. But he held. And I think that's Hero's superpower. Okay? His superpower is not knowing what his superpower is. Clem, I would argue, is the second best technical Terran in Protoss versus Terran. Behind MaxPax. Because MaxPax is his teacher in some ways. Like, I think Clem knows the timings of Terran versus Protoss on both sides better than Hero does. Hero is our #1 vibes-based Protoss, though. And historically, throughout all of StarCraft 2, the very best Protoss have had that killer instinct. That, fuck it, alright? We'll do it live sort of strategy. That, on paper, it would never work. Which would upset those Protoss if they ever learned how to read, but let's think about it. MC, SOS, Parting, Zest, Hero. The best Protoss in the history of StarCraft 2 have had that wild card factor that can just win you. In fact, I think it's better in tournaments like this against really, really good players than it is even on the ladder. Like, just in general. As a ladder is a best of 1 with a random barcode, you don't know. You're just going to do some random strategy. But when you're playing against Clem, you know what Clem's going to do. Honestly, the range... That's rude. Kills the first probe. You know what Clem's going to do. There's a pretty narrow range. Occasionally he throws in a proxy Rex, but he's not going to, like, battlecruiser rush or something. The responses to the different Protoss openers. And there's a reason Blink is the staple. All right? Blink is the meat and the potatoes. All right? But Stargate is the butter. No, so it's another dish entirely. The butter goes on. The charge would be the butter. Or maybe even extended thermal. Not important. Honestly, how would Protoss know? They don't even have mouths. But I certainly digress. Blink on the way. Is the Twilight Council just barely out of range, so he doesn't get vision? I was saying something profound, and if I wasn't, just assume I was, because I completely lost track of it. Butter. My biscuit. No, that's unrelated. Widow Mine drop this time around. He doesn't know for sure. Oh, wow. Is there a Widow Mine in this picture? No. But I think a slight adaptation here. Just playing it safe. It wasn't Adept first, but honestly, I think Hero just randomizes it. He went Stalkers into Stargate. He's going Adept into Blank. Usually it's an Adept. Almost every game for most players, it's an Adept. He's hiding the Widowmine. The anti-Oracle Widowmine. Robo's on the way. It will be Clem with the initiative again. That seems to be the running trend. Oh, you left the door open, Hero, which, not surprised. Very diligent scouting this time. Martyrdom grenade. Confirms. The Robo may have given part of it away. But you could still go Stargate into Robo. It's a bit, I'm going to use a technical term, janky, but it's possible. Yeah, you just go straight Phoenix into Colossus. But Clem very clearly trying to cover his bases now, literally and figuratively. That Widowmine drop heading north. Stalker stalking. Blink is done. Spylon, wait, he's going to fly right over it, right? Yeah, okay. That was, flew the most obvious path. That doesn't mean it was a bad one necessarily. Well, it's certainly not working out great, though. All of the Stalkers back at home completely shut it down. Now, technically, he doesn't know there's nothing else in that medevac. The Adept got into the main, apparently. He doesn't know for sure, but it's almost always 2 Widow Mines. Occasionally, there's a few more Marines. Very rarely nowadays are there more mines, but Hero's mostly gambling. He warps in a few more Stalkers just in case. Maybe he gets a pick off. But the rest of the Stalkers has headed straight across the map. Medevac boosting away. The Spylon certainly saw it. Gotta take down the bunker in a few volleys. And, oh, here, he's not gonna get it. Oh, that would be so tilting. I mean, Clem knows academically it was spotted. But the chances... He got it. Down goes the medevac, and now Clem is going to be bottled up in his base for at least another minute or so. Stim combat shield +1 finishing. The blink stalkers. I'm looking to prove me wrong here. But until he has combat shield and +1, he's still going to trade very poorly with the stalkers. The scouting sentry. Great work. Exactly what that sentry was supposed to do. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't disrespect its memory. Yeah, without combat shield, it's just 4 stalker hits to take down the Marines, and that's if they don't hit the stims. +1 infantry weapons completed. Oh, the stalkers blink in. Cut off a few marauders. Gonna get chased down. Concussive shell's not done, but they're still within range. Medevac's rotating around and brought the siege tank over to help deal with it. And another stalker picked off. Clem opening up a bit of a supply lead. Though, to be clear, with Protoss and the warping mechanic, I see some comments like, why Protoss baking up so much money? So far down on supply. Are Protoss bad? No, that's how Warpgate works. Every 30 seconds or so, you spend a round of money, which actually has the side effect of looking like you don't know how to spend it, which is sometimes true for Hero, but still, the charge lots come down and cut up the siege tanks. Eats a lot of losses, and a double drop is headed north, but the charge lot's clearly aware of that as well. Oh, there's an observer! He spotted it moving out, and the blink stalkers are chasing the rest of the army. Oh, wow. This is a mess. The Widow Minefield knocks out the vast majority of the zealots. And don't tell your friends what happened here. Friends? Hero ends up losing a chunk of his ground army, but he seems more than willing to lose zealots for the good of the rest. 65 probes to 61 SCVs. Clem up 20 supply. +2 attack on the way for Hero. I don't believe there's an armory. No armory on the way for Clem. 3 charge lots. Just casually strolling in. Eviscerating a couple defenders, and then the third base, the SCVs will be evacuated. Clem decides going forward is going to be the play. 2 Colossi. No extended thermal lance, though. Meanwhile, Widow Mines in position. That observer, very obvious, scanned and taken out, but Widow Mines slow down the army. 6 SCVs dead to the casual charge lots. But Hero just buying time right now. Thermal lance is done. He blinks out of the mines, allowing the sentries, they've had a rough game, to get obliterated. Only 1 sentry remains. Medevacs desperately trying to have the bio sit still for long enough to actually heal them, but draining a lot of their energy in the process. Widow Mines tries to blink out, doesn't quite nail it. But with an observer, it's behind the Colossi. Hero with an attention to detail there. The Colossi trying to step up to the plate and knock Clem out of the park right now, but Marines and Marauders, quite a hefty army out of Clem. +2 attack is about to complete for Hero, but +1 arm will be done for Clem beforehand. So, a precarious position. Not that many Stalkers, and the Viking count is growing. +1 armor completed, Clem. Getting a little bit more rambunctious here. And Hero backing off. A Disruptor joins the fray. A single one. And Hero, +2 weapons completed. He's got a 5th base in production. Meanwhile, Clem still just chilling on 3. Looking to max out. He doesn't have an armory. He doesn't have 2-2. He's going to try. It's effectively an all-in here on these upgrades. The Stalkers pick off one of the Vikings. Knocks out the very obvious observer. Meanwhile, the Colossi are caught on the low ground. Disruptor shot comes up pretty short. There's another Disruptor, but the Viking's in position. And he fires off a shot, and oh no, he takes out 3 of his own Stalkers. Oh, he did shading it. Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal yet again, Disruptor. Hero, maybe just stop. Disruptors are a double-edged grenade. So, regular grenade. Triple drop on the way to the left side. Disruptors doing almost as well. They didn't do as much damage as Clem did, but emotionally, devastating. And Hero, somehow, I looked away. Oh, what the? What is this? A legion of charge lots just comes streaming in. Hero backs up with... There's also a Disruptor here, because of course there is. Meanwhile, a recall to the main, where a triple drop has landed. I don't think that's enough to deal with this. The Zealots backing on the 3rd base. A couple at the natural. Hero, 19 SCVs dead. I assume the Disruptor died doing nothing or killing Zealots. The drop gets out, so Clem comes away with a supply lead. But Hero has the upgrades and the economy. I think he's winning. It's hard to tell because of gestures wildly at the entire game, but the Bio Army kind of getting caught in the corner. Meanwhile, some more charge lots chasing down those Widow Mines. Bio is more than enough to deal with some Zealots on their own. More Zealots warped in. Gonna go for the drop in the main base. The Stalker's in position to intercept. Deal with it now. And the Vikings overhead. There's literally no anti-air here. The Colossi just try to get what hits they can off. There's a single sentry. We've asked a lot of you this game, sentries, and we're gonna ask even more. EMP, Vikings hit the deck. Charge lots from either side. More EMPs, +3 weapons, 3 upgrade advantage for Hero. And he suffered heavy losses, but he has more to replace them. Clem is cut down. His medevac's vulnerable in 2Gs. Hero takes 2 in a row. How many zealots? 85 zealots lost to 68 marines. Colossi with no stalkers to cover him. But while he might not have stalkers, he might not have Templar, he also doesn't have any fucks to give. Hero again, just keeping the pressure on. And Clem coming up short. We're going to match point on El Dorado of all places. Hero up 2-0. His victory is near. No. Unfortunately, his name being Hero really reduces my opportunities. Oh, God. Oh, Jimmy, edit that out. Oh, my God. The path is clear. No, no. Maybe I need a bureau. Clem. The key part of both these games, I think. The initial damage being completely shut down. That really sets the tone. It's very hard. And Clem is better than everyone, literally, at recovering or managing that situation. But when you lose that initial medevac or whatever's inside it, or both, you really don't have anything you can put out on the map. Either against Blink Stalkers or Phoenixes. You have no more control of the map. Not until you get enough Marines and Marauders to shove out of your base. And they can no longer use those units reliably to keep you bottled up. So, Hero's so far managing that near perfectly. What's it going to be? He's building a Zealot. They'll probably cancel it when there's no NG Bay block. I do like that move, yeah. So there's no reason not to build a Zealot. If you cancel a unit before it completes, you get all your money back. Buildings are only 75%. But Clem has been known to throw an engineering bay block down or two in his time. And that can be incredibly annoying. I don't think Hero's the kind of player who's just going to go expand to his third either, so. 2 Reapers and a Sentry on the way. On opposite sides, obviously. Hallucinated Phoenix will be the choice. Energy Recharge Sentry, giving that early game scouting that Protoss was kind of lacking until that ability. Before, Protoss mostly limited to kind of shoving the Adept nose up against the depot and trying to ask an SCV what's going on inside, or dying to whatever was being produced. That was usually a strong second. Oh, Hero. Going with like the reverse heist build here. With a fake Phoenix into real Phoenix. Really a fake it till you make it. And this sometimes works perfectly, because who goes Sentry into Stargate? Well, we don't know if he's going to make a Phoenix, but either way, it severely reduced the likelihood. The Sentry at 100 gas, and he built 2 Stalkers as well. So right now he's going to show Clem everything he needs to think this isn't a Stargate, at the very least. We'll see what Clem ends up making. I mean, it is El Dorado, but still. Does get a Cyclone. Oh yeah, it's going to be real Phoenixes now, from here on out. Well, maybe a Scout with hallucinated. Still. Shield battery on the way, Hero. Suspecting tomfoolery. Or even shenanigans. Meanwhile, Clem just trying to pick off anything that might try to sneak out. Adept, probe. Another hallucinated Phoenix will lead. And Clem is just waltzing across. Medevac is on the way. Cyclone should be able to shut this down, but in fact, the hallucinated Phoenix will spot the medevac the moment it comes out, which is quite convenient. Reaper Hellion. So, very importantly for Clem, he's going to be able to unload and have all his units together. There's just a shield battery here. Guardian shield is good, but the sentry, well, the shield battery helping out so much, picks up the cyclone, puts it back down, picks it up again, shakes it all around, and the cyclone juggling plus the guardian shield on the hero sentry, all puns intended. Hero, despite this being Clem's best attempt at early damage, he actually kills exactly nothing. Wow. Hero losing 0. And takes down the medevac as well. He doesn't have any... He's too tired to pick up any more Marines, but if this siege tank wasn't here, I think the game just ends. Wow. Hero just picked it up and knocked it down with absolute ease. Well, it wasn't ease, but he nailed it there. That was beautiful. And Clem, that's got to be a frustration. Did he mine the wrong patch? Oh, no. Hero mined the wrong mineral patch to get his base down here. I don't know if that factored into him expanding up here instead, but we'll see. Hero. No, these ones. So there's, for some reason, one patch in this location that doesn't actually... Like, it's still walled. The probe can't get down there. I think the probe automatically shifted. It's Star Charge again. +1 armor, but only +1 armor on the way. Hero gonna try to hit a much quicker charge. Is that a proxy? This is not a spy line here. This has aggressive intentions. Gonna try to warp into Cinematica Zealots with charge and +1 armor. Hero not content to let Clem be down on 2, but he's going to attack. Which, Clem won't expect it, because it'd be very silly to attack up a ramp into siege tanks. But when has common sense ever stopped Hero before? He's gonna trade for some of the Marines. Some Vikings, Cyclones. The triple threat is on the way. If he were able to hit before Stim Combat Shield and +1... Wait, is he gonna... Oh my god. Oh. This is Clem's vision. What he doesn't know can very much hurt him. Several pixels out of range. He will not know about the proxy pylon, which would give away a big part of the intention here. Hero is still mining with 1 probe on that. It's going to take a while. 1,700 minerals left. The charge lots are done. +1 attack isn't quite there. I think Clem caught a glimpse. Oh, he sees it now. Gonna back up all the way up the ramp, holding the line. A couple Widow Mines will burrow down. And the splash damage, ooh, he's able to avoid a lot of it. Picking up more, just going directly into it, but... he had the high ground, Hero. It wasn't terrible, but it certainly wasn't great. Clem, the real key is Clem needs to build up a critical mass. He loses another medevac. A Widow Mine does manage to burrow. That's going to do a lot. Ooh, wipes out most of the Zealots. And again, Clem is able to keep the Bio Army together strongly enough. But Hero's warping in another round. He has the economy. What? He expanded. How did he expand? Did he go all the way around? Oh my. I'm taking the gold. You know you could have gone from this side. Whatever. All right. Here come the Phoenixes again, able to pick up one of the Widow Mines. Siege tank on the high ground. 2 mines behind the tank. Big hit across the Phoenixes. Taking terrible, terrible damage. And Hero might be losing the critical mass of charge lots he needs. Stimming back home, picks up another Marauder, a few more Marines. Phoenix is nearly out of energy and almost entirely out of life as well. +1 ground weapons about to complete. Hero is going for Templar. He's reaching for the Storm. It might be enough to save him, because I don't think this attack is going to be enough at this stage, especially with Widow Mines and Siege Tanks. The factory-based splash damage enough to drive this all the way back. And Hero... He's not a details man, all right? He's more of a vibes Protoss. Oh no. Wow, he even shift-clicked it. Hero! They're gonna have to go. Oh, it might give away the bait. Not like Clem wouldn't be able to see him mining there, but this is even worse. Oh no. Clem's going to see the probes mining. Another Widow mine. It's bad. Hero's down 20 supply. He is getting Storm. But, it's spotted. The thing is, he can't even bring the army. I think he tried to move the army, and now it's moving this way, and Hero's wondering what happened here. And now he's still trying to mine, but he's not done! Oh, no! Storm is on the way, and Hero's on the wrong side of history. Well, Storm's done. The probes are caught transferring. He's gonna try to fight. And the Storm in the midst, but I think it hit more Zealots than it did Marines and Marauders. Hero in a very awkward spot. He recalls from his front porch into his living room, which is certainly one way to handle things. Has he finally taken down the... Yes, he's taken down the mineral wall, so at least that's done. But he's down 50 supply, and yeah, and... Time out! Okay. The Templars fighting with the Marine might even win. Also, there's some storms here. This is more important. Somehow they both live. Meanwhile, the Bio Army. Energy recharge. Oh no, Widow Mine will kill the Templar. The Bio Army. Medevacs are nearly out of energy. Hero still somehow making a game out of this. Warps in a couple more Zealots. There's ghosts. Okay. The probes are pulled, not the Ghostbusters he's looking for. There's a warp prism, by the way. Just putting that one out there, I guess. EMP across the board. Widow Mine's at point-blank range. Hero. I'm gonna do some ghetto blink micro. He doesn't actually have blink, so that is not ideal. So Hero is super dead, but in much the same way Clem doesn't. He's gonna fight till the bitter end. In fact, I think he's just playing Clem right now. Like, he knows Clem gets tilted. He's rage quit against him before. It's very, very clear to everyone, including the players, that Clem has won this game. But technically, you can't win a game of StarCraft 2 until you destroy all your opponent's buildings. I don't think Hero will take it that far. But he still technically has 3 bases. He has Storm. No, he's just playing the mind game. There's no way, like, 100 out of 100. Clem can A-move his army right now. Even into the Storm. Snipes a Templar. Not like he's going to. Of course he's going to stutter step, but... A Hero. There's still a Zealot. Fighting the Widow Mines. He's got Immortals. Energy recharge. 15 seconds saves a Templar. Clem has a 4th base now. And it's not like it's his main. It's a 4th command center. 2-2 is done. The tech tree getting cut down. Templar Archives and Twilight Council. And... well, some more charge lots. Living on a prayer right now. EMPs. War Prism taken down. Alright, okay, Hero. I mean... we're getting there. Templar energy recharge. 161 to 66 supply.
He's dead, Joe.
I think 100% this is Hero playing Clem. I mean, technically and factually correct. But he knows how tilted Clem gets. We'll see if it pays off, but Hero's stretching it even for me a bit there. Like, okay, all right. Clem able to take a decisive victory. Hero kind of tries to charge up the ramp, but not quite enough, especially in the literal sense. So, that means Clem's on the board. A clean sweep is not unheard of, but it's still unlikely. Hero, well, of all the players, I think Hero may have pulled off the most clean sweeps of any player against Clem. Especially in the recent... Well, there's only a handful of players who won series against Clem. Since the World Cup and his World Championship. And Hero probably has more clean sweeps than anyone else, including Max Packs. It's just, like, Clem is playing correctly. But Hero's not even playing the same game sometimes. Like, he's just off charging up ramps with phoenixes and so he's expanding to the wrong side of the mineral wall in the wrong way. He tried twice to mine the mineral wall and somehow failed, which, you know, those Xbox 360 controllers don't have the precision you'd really love all the time, so. Probe out for blood. Got a taste for it, which is impressive because Protoss don't even have mouths, but gonna be chased down. Staring at that SCV, stressing it out. He knows that Clem won't let him kill it, but... And here's the thing, even a love tap from the probe, even a single hit. So, an Adept will kill an SCV in 3 hits. It does 44 damage with 2 hits against an SCV. Or Marine. Or really any light unit, technically. But that's relevant because SCVs and Marines both have 45 HP. Which means that 2 Adept hits leave it still alive. Unless it got a nice little hickey from the probe. In which case, that 5 damage is deadly. Emotionally and physically. So the Reaper heads across the map. The probe gonna come back in for more. But unfortunately, it looks like Clem did build a Marine. If he had gone straight for a reactor, which is not unheard of, he may have been able to rack up a kill. The probe gets taken out on the other side. Twilight counts. All right. We'll see if Hero goes full Hero in this series or if he's able to pull it together. Sometimes, like, I think he truly doesn't care. And I think that's a very key part. Is they're just series, it's just another day at the office. And he's having fun with it. Like, he brings out another build, another style almost every single game. Playing the same game 500 times in a row and the same map gets boring. Oh my god. You know how hard it is to hit that grenade timing? Very hard. Clem didn't even pull it off. But he almost did. The fact that he interrupted the attack, the margin is so thin. Incredibly impressive just to hit the timing perfectly. But doesn't quite bounce it far enough away to avoid the chasing death. Hero, is that 4? No, 3 gates. The Adept Shade leading the charge. Hero. No. Okay, just walks up. I'm gonna start right-clicking on some Marines, working on the Hellion. The SCVs. Sure. Why not? Adept shading by. Hero's adding a 4th gate. He's going all in. That's usually the kicker here. No 3rd base. We're 4.5 minutes in, which is quite advanced in the grand scheme of things. Here's the Warp Prism. Just a straight up 4-gate blink pressure. Been a little while since we've seen such a commitment. It's another build. It's a twist on your standard blink timing. A potentially deadly one, but I think Clem has an idea. Well, he just went by and he saw no 3rd. He's got a Raven ready to backstab into the main base. Hero thinking about the third base. Hasn't committed yet. Auto turret gonna target a couple probes down. Stalker's in position. That means they're not heading across the map, though. So that lessens the potential strength of the attack. Huh. Warping in some more. How many Stalkers? 11 Stalkers, minus the 2 at home. 9 Stalkers. Might have one more warp in before he gets there. Clem has the bunker. 1 siege tank. The Adept leads the charge, then he blunks over the top. The Adept eats the siege tank hit, takes out the tank itself. And now the SCVs are pulled off the line for a citizen's arrest on several of those Stalkers. And an auto turret going to find more damage than Hero himself was able to deal. The SCVs, well, Raven, like, look what they must do to mimic a fraction of our power, auto turret. 4 Stalkers in a prism continue to stalk prismatically, which I assume is both flamboyant and annoying. 7 SCVs dead thus far, but Clem still ahead on workers. Hero has committed to the third base. He has charge on the way. But his third base is significantly delayed, which leaves quite an opening. Clem also went for barracks 4 and 5 on 2 base. So he kind of did what Hero did, which is a big 2 base timing. With technically he could transition into a third, but he's going to try to get some damage done. It's just going to be a little later on, but with more potential strength. Infantry weapons. Level 1 completed. The Blink Stalker is going to try to delay this a bit, but that's a lot of bio coming out, and the first medevacs are hitting the field. Blink Stalkers trading shots. Combat shields pale in comparison to actual shields, but medevacs heal, whereas Stalkers, not so much. Clem sprinting across the map, picks off a couple Stalkers on the way. Charge is done. Immortals caught out first. Will take some Widow Mines on the chin. I mean, he charges into battle. Clem, though, has a good position on the high ground. That Raven, oh, I don't know if it's intentional, but he's joining up with the main army. Charge Lot's looking to cut off. Oh, never more, Mr. Raven. Takes it down. Some emotional support fields out there to discourage the army. Charge Lot's cut off the reinforcements. Though Hero does know that there's not too much because of the Observer on the high ground. The Warp Prism drops off the Immortals and expedites their death. He loses it to a Widow Mine. Hero seems to have managed to claw potential defeat out of... I'm not going to say a chasm of victory, but... he just threw 2 Immortals and his Prism away. I guess he got the siege tank. But Clem now clearly has the supply lead and the momentum. There's no splash damage on the way. This is why usually that Blink Stalker timing is combined with a quick third. So that way you can get the economic advantage and overwhelm the Terran. And Hero's not out of it yet. But he doesn't really have any kickers. He has no upgrades. He has no splash damage. He has a couple Immortals. He has 1 Immortals. He has none Immortals. Our list of allies grows thin, Hero. And the Terrans are at the gates. Match point. Hero crumbles. The blink goes wide. And Clem strikes true. We're going to game 5. These two very clearly evenly matched, but in such different ways. Like watching a piranha fight a lion, but in a river that the lion can kind of stand in. All right. Maybe tuna versus like a school of tuna in the ocean. I got a taste of lion. You know, as one does. Like probes. with SCV. We go to the ley lines, and we'll find who survives this hectic series. Pretend I said something profound and like and subscribe. From the Monday night weeklies put on by TKL, and that French organization hosting so many great tournaments. Clearly a little biased for Clem, I think, but make sure to check them out when you got the opportunity. Jimmy! Control-C, control... It's not hard. Sorry. But Monday night's great for watching StarCraft. Or other nights, also great if you're watching here. So, depends on how committed you are. Or a vampire, like myself. So, Game 5. Once again, Hero and Clem going the distance. And it's going to come down to what Hero has in store for us, as it always does. Clem has tried to consolidate a similar army, a similar position. And that's kind of the nature of Terran. You can't switch your production up dramatically on a dime. You can't... the trajectory of tech is more linear, which is a fancy way of saying you're kind of locked in with reactors and tech labs to a certain unit composition. Whereas Protoss has a little more leeway, not so much in the actual units, as Hero has shown us, but in how you use them. Like, Hero very willing to throw away dozens of charge lots to further his goals. Now, what are his goals? Even if you asked Hero, I'm not confident he would give you... Hotkey bug, thank you, go, go. Hero's like, oh, you use a keyboard. It's a cool idea. I didn't... And kind of a quick pause, but we do it live from replay. I'm already putting together the bulwark. A 1-Rax expand. Kind of surprised to see it in Game 5. But playing it safe on one of our more macro-oriented maps. Sentries on the way, but after the first Stalker, already a shield, but wow, really just pulling back full macro, or at least near full macro from both sides. Now Hero's going to commit to something. Twilight Council. Clem trying to intercept the hallucinated Phoenix with the Marines. If he gets lucky and shuts it down, that's a big win, considering that's pretty much all Hero's early scouting. But Hero actually evades it, goes by the natural, gonna get a full scout. Sees the starport on the way, the factory already building with a tech lab. Kind of implied it's a Cyclone. Doesn't have to be, but it'd be kind of weird if it wasn't. The Marine count already quite high. Will Clem build a medevac and come across the map? What a silly question. I apologize for asking such dumb questions. Charge? Just a raw dogging charge here? What? Hero's like, I have another card to play. This is like a... Okay. I mean, it could work. If you're expecting the finesse and surgical precision of Blink, well, then you could easily get surprised by the less surgical and more angry nature of charge. Clem's timing is designed to hit before Blink. It's 4:20, and he's blazing the medevac across the map, but there's still enough stalkers here. Sentry on the front lines, as always. Guardian shield for exactly 0.1 seconds. Charge is done in 10 seconds, but he may be able to successfully hide his charge by losing all his zealots beforehand. So, well done by Hero to make sure Clem doesn't get that information. And now Clem's probably thanking his lucky StarCrafts here that Blink has not done that split second, because he would have lost the meta. But, he manages to survive. 2 of the Marines walking home just fine. And Hero. 2 brothers. Okay, together. Attacking the two. Alright. Hey, you wanna hear a joke? No. My wife for hire. What? And then the other guy says, does she charge a lot? I hate you. I hate you so much. Sorry, I am blacked out for a second. So Hero decided to show Clem charge because he thought it was sporting. Because he didn't know about the charge from the earlier push because it had just finished. So Clem, Hero, out of an abundance of sportsmanship, decided to show the charge lots to Clem and do nothing else with them, which is certainly quite it's a power move, actually. Okay. It's gonna, well, if he kills the medevac, some of the Marines are body blocking for the medevac here. Actually takes down the Stalker, loses 4 probes. Marines left behind. They'll expect some of us in the wreckage, brothers. Brothers? No, Bob! I don't... 2 brothers! I don't... Hero is right-clicking across the map with whatever units he has. Again, very boldly going where some Protoss have gone before, but I'm not sure, like, that's not... He doesn't have an observer. If he actually attacked right now, it would be pretty great. As there's only a few siege tanks. The bio army, I think, trying to intercept here. Hero must have felt a disturbance in the force or something, because these charge lots are actually quite a threat to what there is here. But the bio army's coming back. Hero's taking a 4th base. Clem has finished his 3rd command center. Very importantly, he's going to have +1 infantry weapons done momentarily. But Hero, definitely in a precarious position. He's got a decent supply. He's got Colossi on the way. He hasn't yet extended his thermal lance, at least not as far as mine, but now has it in production. Blink halfway there. Finally filled it in. So it's not a bad spot for Hero. The medevacs, especially without Blink, not going to be chased down. The Raven made it back home, I assume. Yes. Yeah. He didn't lose one. This game has been a lot of shadow boxing here. Not too many losses on either side. Just, I think Clem is trying to pin down what Hero is actually doing. And Hero, a stimmed Marine gun to his head, would not be able to answer that question based on how he's played this so far. But we've got a general trajectory. It's going to be Blink, going to be Colossi, fill in some gateway units. Open the fishing bunker. Cosplaying as a pylon. We've all been there. Not literally, but... Clem, now feeling comfortable enough. He's got 170 supply. He's got siege tanks, Vikings. He's got all the fixins here. This is a very strong Terran army. Hero, his extended thermal lance is nearly done. He's got +2 attack, but a Protoss army from the wrong angle could easily get taken down by what Clem has right here. Right now. Right here. Right now. Thermal lance not quite done as the fight starts. Force field's good, but he picks some up, and now the charge lots are locked onto the wrong side of history. Anti-armor missile softening things up. Bio army moving forward. Vikings overhead. Charge lots from the left flank might be able to cut down the siege tanks. The rest of the army moving in. +1 armor done for Clem. Slices through more of the tanks. It's just the bio army behind. 3 Colossi overhead, though. Not enough Vikings to deal with them. The Cyclone joins the fray. Vikings taken down, and he has to retreat from this for now. But Clem still has the supply advantage. The Stalkers moving for... No, the Sentries have had a real rough series. All 3 of them obliterated. Again, the Sentries, the most fragile units left behind to tank. And Hero is down. Well, he lost some supply. Every time I see Hero, quote, win a fight, I look at the supply. I'm like, did he though? But both players seem to agree Hero won that fight hard enough that Clem is sitting in his base. Charge lots, almost all of them softened up. But there's a bunker in position. Hero's taking a 5th base down the center. Disruptor is on the way. +3 ground weapons. Not quite done yet, but Hero. War Prism out in front of everything. 3 Colossi, but some of them bruised already. +3 ground weapons about done, and that's when the Colossi get real scary to the Marines and Marauders. 2nd starport on the way, +1 ship weapons. 2-2 infantry weapons and armor, indicating Clem does want to play this out a bit further. He's got Vikings, he's got Ghosts, but he doesn't... Hero's right there. He's going the wrong way. He has no idea where the army... Why is Hero even here? It doesn't matter. Because he is now. Hero just... A dozen charge lots split off will cut down the bunker. Blank Stalkers go forward, intercept one of the Vikings. Clem already in an awkward spot to start the fight. Disruptor doesn't find much. Vikings will knock down the Colossi, but 15 SCVs dead. The Bio Army might be able to clean this up, but Hero just kind of carves his way through into the natural. The Vikings hit the deck as the Colossi are still here. He needs to lift them off again. He does, but the Colossi are incinerating the Bio Ball. The Disruptor alongside the charge lots. He's grinding through the charge lots. But the Vikings may take out the Colossi, but at what cost? Hero wins. Hero just mentally and physically defeating Clem yet again. That army had no right to be there. But it was. It was the right spot. Clem suspected Hero. Like, Hero didn't really have the anti-air. Clem taking his 4th base. He didn't do his due diligence. He didn't see where the army went. But, wow. Hero making a huge play there. Committing to that position where he could have easily gotten crushed if it went sideways. But that was the game-winning move. The series-winning move. And yet again, Hero defeats the world champion. Wow. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that as much as I did. Hopefully it made your day at least a little bit better. And if you got the means and motivation, it'd be awesome to check out Patreon or YouTube membership. But I hear liking and subscribing is still free, at least for now. But thank you to our Muleteer patrons for bringing in the extra minerals. Big Jiggy Devendor, Mario, Random Guy Suit. Glad you still enjoy. And to everyone, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Congratulations to Hero. Good luck, have fun. Stay chill.